camera. So the Senate leader, as much as I agree with you, I still think that we should go into closed session. So to have 5-10 minutes discussion before we reopen this debate. So if you don't mind, I wish that you move a motion for the Senate to revert to closed session to have further debate on this.
Mr. President.
Mr. President, this is
Nuisance, Lele.
I actually wanted you to see everything to the end. At least we all watched and listened to Ruto, the most hated man in Kenya right now. We all heard him reeled out what he's been able to do or what he intends to do on and on for 11 minutes. And nobody said anything like boring, no, it's boring, no, it's boring. But the moment you cross the border back to the contraption, the rogues you have on your screen, that's how they have them, because those are the decision makers in Nigeria. Those are the people that decide the direction that they will take you all to. Now, see where they are taking all of you to right now. Those are the people making that decisions. And according to him, you know, the whole public is seeing us now going back and forth. Don't let them think we are fighting, okay? Let's go to the closed doors so that we can go and discuss what time to be sitting and have our meeting. And you guess what? These guys, before Tifnumbu increased their salary by over 200%, these guys used to take home over 200 million naira every year. Now, a senator, each of the person you see in that video, right, goes on with over 500 million naira today. Here is the breakdown before the increase. I think you should watch. The people that can't pay salary or minimum wage of 250,000 naira. See what your lawmakers are earning.
1,000 multiplied by 12 is 7,452,000 naira. Okay? So every month, a lawmaker in Nigeria is giving 621,000, for wardrobe. Then we have recess allowance, 248,000. So when you multiply 248,000 by 12, you have 2,936,000 naira. So a lawmaker in Nigeria is being given 2,936,000 naira as recess allowance. Okay, we have accommodation. Every month, a lawmaker in Nigeria is being given 4,900,000 naira for accommodation. That is every month. They ought to pack out from their house and move to a new house. Then when you multiply 4,900,000 by 12, you get 58,800,000 naira. Okay, so a lawmaker in Nigeria earns 58,800,000 naira as accommodation allowance. Then we have utility. Utility here is 828,000 naira. When you multiply 828,000 naira by 12, you have 9,936,000 naira. Okay, so every month, a lawmaker in Nigeria is given 828,000 naira for utility. Then we have a personal assistance allowance. That one is 621,000 naira. Multiply by 12, you have 7,452,000 naira. So when you total all this figure, you see that a lawmaker in Nigeria earns annually, the total figure a lawmaker in Nigeria earns annually is 221,016,000 naira. So annually, a lawmaker in Nigeria earns 221,016,000 naira. When you multiply by 4, it is 884,064,000 naira. But these are people that cannot pay 62,000 minimum. 1,000 multiply.
They can't pay 62,000 naira minimum wage or 250,000 minimum wage. You see that? That is before the 200% or 104%, another one, 204% salary increase that Ifnumbu gave them. So right now, multiply that first. Multiply it by 221 million. That will give you 441 million. I mean 42 million. Abi 32,000. Now add another 221 million to that. So you are there, right? You're already like 663 million naira a year. That is what the senator takes home. The 460 million, I mean 440 million is for the House of Rep members. And that is not even enough for them. They still added over 6 trillion naira. They padded 6 trillion naira into 2024 budgets for projects that doesn't exist, for the communities that doesn't exist. And they still listed them there. They put them in there and they withdraw at least this year. They withdraw half of it. If they don't get all the 6 trillion, they padded into the budget, they will get up to, they'll get half of it. It's all rip-off. So Ajeru and others, they went on to Ajeru and Osifo, NLC and TUC. So they went on to see Tifnumbu today. Remember, they said that the rumor of a 62,000 naira minimum wage is just a rumor, because they will not take anything less than 250,000 naira minimum wage. Now, they reiterated that today. But we'll just go inside and see what happened when they went to see Tifnumbu.
So we try to put this before Mr. President because he's the president of the country and the buck stalls at his table. You know, we've had all the conversations with all his agents, but today we said that let's meet with the father of the country and have this conversation and make the argument that Labour normally make. You know, Labour went in there, we made all the arguments, economic analysis, macro, micro, fiscal, and monetary issues. So we put everything forward, and at the end, the president also made his remark as a president, and we all agreed that okay, let's go back. We internalize it, we have some conversations, and that by 1 week time we come back and we continue the meeting.
Let's listen to the president. We didn't go into Naira and cover discussion. Now, the status quo in terms of the amount, 250 and 62,000, remains until we finish this conversation. Thank you very much. That will be all.
So they believe that Tifnumbu will meet with them again in a week, and then they will finalize what your minimum wage will be. So from what we were hearing, Tifnumbu was going to propose 100,000 to them, but that is not guaranteed, because others are saying the stand 2 weeks ago was 62,000 or nothing, and the position still remained the same. Okay, the country where one person can steal 100 billion, 200 billion. One of them collapsed in court today. The former minister of power. He collapsed in court today, standing trial for stealing 33.9 billion naira. Individually, there are those who have stolen more than $1 billion in the space of that 8 years of Bukuwari. All this money. Majority of them have kept them out of Nigeria, of course. Others who have kept theirs in Nigeria probably have them buried. Okay? But the workers won't have any money to be paid. Or if they have to pay the workers, Nigeria will go bankrupt. This is what the politician says. If they should pay Nigerian workers minimum wage of 250,000 naira, Nigeria will go bankrupt. And since they don't want Nigeria to go bankrupt, 30,000 naira or 62,000 naira or nothing. But it is a country that has no money. But an individual or group of people can steal up to 1 trillion, 2 trillion naira. Millions of dollars. When they steal the millions of dollars, it sounds like they were stealing thousands, because you just hear something like this one stole $150 million. In Kaduna State, El Rufai of Kaduna borrowed money. Hear this one, oh. He went to the bank, and El Rufai borrowed 80 billion naira. That's a lot of money, yeah? So this money was to be used in revitalizing Kaduna State's economy. Now, nobody knows what happened to that money. Then El Rufai went to go and borrow about 4 billion naira so that they will pay off the pensions, the unpaid gratuities and pensions. El Rufai, that money disappeared and pensions were not paid. El Rufai collected money to clear outstanding salaries, gratuities, pensions, like stuff like that. Stuff like that, right? Then borrowed this 4 billion that I'm talking about. He borrowed that from the Central Bank of Akpabiole as a credit granted them by Bokwari. There were many who collected that money. Yeye Bello of Kogi that they are looking for right now. Yeye Bello collected about 21 billion in total. And you know what Yeye Bello did with the money? He went on to go and freeze about 14 billion of the money in a bank, accumulating interests. While the pensioners in Kogi State were owed years of unpaid pensions, including workers on paid salaries. The money was lying there in a bank. So EFCC got wind of it. Because EFCC was about to take the money, Yeye Bello quickly go grab the money and started paying some of the pensioners. But he didn't even clear that, okay? And that was how the rest of the money disappeared. Part of the money they are now looking for him for. El Rufai went on to go and borrow about $300 million. This time around is in dollars, $300 million. So they said they want to revitalize the economy of Kaduna. That money is part of the money that's missing right now. 423 billion naira is how much El Rufai stole from Kaduna. Not just him, like others now. Commissioner this, PA this, contractor this or that, okay? El Rufai stole over 423 billion. And how did they manage to steal all this money? And these are people that will tell you, if Nigeria should pay 250,000 naira minimum wage, Nigeria will go bankrupt. And you believe them. Ajero, when he's not inside the asshole rock, he had this to say about the corruption that is making it impossible to give you better lives, even though you have jobs, you are working like slaves. Hear him.
Sort of corruption.
That's right.
The infrastructure, corruption.
That's right.
If you go to the power sector, you know why we don't have electricity. Trace it back. I think there's need, an urgent need, for us to fight corruption. And the NLC will throw its weight behind the agency in all fights against corruption.
Yes, sir.
The only advice is don't allow anybody to misinform you, so that genuine Nigerians, will back you. Nigerians are united on the fight against corruption, clearly. I think what your agency needs to do is to connect them so that it will be a mass movement. And everybody from year to year, generation to generation, has been pointing at the issue of corruption. In fact, Shino Achebe, in his book, The Trouble in Nigeria, said that it is just like is putting the goat and the yam.
And the yam.
And that in Nigeria, that the goat must eat the yam.
That's right.
So we have to make sure that this fight, we have taken it to the next generation.
That's right.
It's a fight that we can't afford to lose. If we lose this fight, we have lost the essence of our existence as a nation. So there is no need talking about productivity, talking about IGR. If only one man could just, within a second, write it off. The sad aspect of this is that people take what they don't need from generation to generation and they dump it. Some countries we are now laughing stock to some countries that where we dump our money, and such cities are so beautiful and Nigeria is suffering. My brothers and sisters, I wish to pledge the support of the NLC. Anytime, any day, any moment, we have to come together to fight corruption before corruption will ruin the country. Thank you.
Everywhere to propoye. But that was the NLC chairman or the NLC president. I don't know if he's called chairman or president, though, right? It's called president, I think. Talking about corruption and what corruption has done to them. That's what corruption does. It deprives you of, humanity. It sort of degrades you. It destroys people. That's what corruption does. It's so evil. When you take things things that are meant for millions of people, and then a few people just corner that. That's evil, right? Well, yeah, I'm gone. Right. So let's go to Lagos. Let's leave Abuja and their minimum wage for now. Okay. So let's quickly stop in Lagos. I saw something on the streets shared earlier today. And it was, I think it was that guy that usually demolish houses, okay? But this time they are not demolishing houses. It's just the normal day in, what a normal day would look like in the mega city. The supposed mega city of Africa. Look around you. Look around.
Beside you, your PSP will come me. Alausa Oredola Mariam. Àwa mẹ́rin la wà níbí. Àwa ní Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture, in conjunction with the Association of Perishable Farm Produce Traders of Lagos State, Ajah Zone. Ṣé ẹ rí nípa ọ̀rọ̀ ìdọ̀tí a ò mọ̀ ń pa? Táwa bá ti ṣèdọ̀tí tiwa, a register under lawman. Bàbá Òtúyà lè jẹ́rìí sí. Ṣùgbọ́n dídé tẹ̀dé ní ìṣètò wá ṣàlàyé nípa àwọn sùkú àgbàdo inú tiwa gan ò dùn sí. Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ààrẹ ti dì láti ràn yín lọ́wọ́ ká dẹ̀ rọra wa lọ́wọ́. Torí ìrànlọ́wọ́ tí yín ló máa mú tiwa náà dúró. Láàárọ̀ làtà bá ti já ọjà. À ń sọ fún everybody. Gbogbo ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá lọ síbẹ̀ yẹn tó bá lọ da sùkú àgbàdo lẹ̀, a máa falẹ̀ lọ́màn lọ́wọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n a fún wọn ní wọ́n nìní. A gbọ́dọ̀ rí mọ́ ẹni ìdọ̀tí ó gbé wá lé ni ó fẹ́ sọ ọ́ lẹ̀ gbé lọ sí lọ́màn. Kò lọ dà sọ́hùn. Kò sí anybody tó gbọ́dọ̀ dàdọ̀ sí sí. Torí ẹ̀ ló jẹ́ kí n gba nọ́mbà. Anybody tó bá ti tàpá sófin yìí, tó bá ti gbé dọ̀tí tó lọ dà síbẹ̀, wọ́n fà sọ́dọ̀ yín. Kò sí dọ̀tí lọ́dọ̀ wa. Àwa rẹ́dí àti rọra wa lọ́wọ́ o. Ẹ ṣé a dúpẹ́.
The mega shitty, the mega slum, and every image, every video that is not doctored, made on their streets, the videos recorded right where people stays will show you enough of the fail shit hole that they used to rob the rest of you who thought Tinubu was doing something, right? And I think you know better now. Like, what the heck? A government that cannot, by any means, provide infrastructures that really takes away the waste. That's one big problem that has become the problem of Lagos State for Omo. And it's going to remain the same because you have the same set of incompetent, money-gulping, rent-seeking rogues. Now, they made a video to show to us, see, government, so it's not the government that see how that woman dropped her. What is she doing there? Don't talk like that, Jeremiah. People need to eat. People need to survive. That is why they can just... Like, it's normal. Like, you will never live in a country whereby you will not see all this street road trading and then a dumping of refuse all over the place. Like, you would never live you will never live in a Nigeria or a country of yours that doesn't have all those. It's normal. It's normal because they are stealing all the money that could build you markets, malls. That is so affordable enough that they are just like a giveaway. When you come to some of this part of the world, right? And then you are like a smaller business, you see them where they have, you have a chance. Even if you have to kind of take a loan to get yourself a space, you will get a space because there will be space. There will be space. Unfortunately, it is just going to be what it's going to be like forever and never, like for the rest of your lives. Anybody who try to come around, they will just use their usual fire brigade approach, the camera and other stuff to make it look like they are doing something. If they are not demolishing the shanties that they are allowed to be erected there for years, it's like somebody can just wake up and just be like, you know what? I'm just going to go and destroy all these shanties built on this side of the road. And that's it. They will bring the katakata, they will demolish everything there, break everything away. Everywhere looks so clean, so clear, but so rough, and all of that, right? Nothing else happens. Then give it weeks, a few months after, the entire place will begin to build up again, because there's no real plan. You are being led by people who are like so incompetent and so corrupt that they would rather monetize every of your problems. That's what they do. Monetize that. But indeed, of course, it's not, the whole blame is not just for the government. Did you see the nonchalant attitude of the woman that is roasting the corn? She's like, we are waiting for Aboki to come and pack it. No, don't give your waste to Aboki. You need to pack them properly and give them to Loma. Usually when you have markets, okay, you have this big, massive skip. Do you know why they put big skips in front of markets or at the back of markets? simply because it can collect all the waste. And then you see the truck will come, pick up the skips. You can have like about 10, 15, 20 skips. When I say